the big noise.
Motorsports Spectacular is wrapped up and ready.
Are you ready?
Then make some
Let me just ask you this question, all right? Are you ready? You know, maybe I didn't do that right. So let me try that one more time. Are you ready? That's what I'm talking about. It sounds to me like you are ready to meet the monster trucks. He says he wants to represent Canada when he is here. So hence the name of this new truck. Ladies and gentlemen, get yourselves ready to put your hands together. The man from Phoenix, Joe Briggs, and Outlaws Up. He says his hometown is Groom Lake, Nevada. That's the home of Area 51. Ladies and gentlemen, he is one of the most unique drivers, driving a most unique truck. Please put your hands together for Mr. Dallas Rogers and Spitfire. He ruled Canada in the early days of monster trucks, but then forced to retire because of injuries. But the technology finally caught up and allowed him to come back and be the five-time former champion of Canada, Mr. Marvin Anderson, and Identity Theft. Unmistakable custom air horn sound as he brings this truck to its debut here in Winnipeg. A former motocross superstar who still loves to race two wheels, but now he's at the top of the food chain with the only monster truck with a submit picture on the back. From Ocean City, Washington, this is Kevin Stell and Mr. He's a farm kid from Weyburn, Saskatchewan, who made his fortune in the oil fields, hence the name of this truck. You'll find all the details on it with the Crude Boys Racing Team captain. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Jared Vogel and Crude Behavior. Coming to us from the oil fields, the ruggedness of Edson, Alberta, this former mud racer and sand racer stands here today and saying, Roughneck will dominate. Are you ready? This is Jason Court and Roughneck. And to be the man, you must beat this man, the former champion of the world, the wild man from Washington. This is Bill Payne and Rockstar. Here we go. 10, 9, 8. Let me hear you. 6. Start your engine!
Welcome, monster truck fans, to the Outlaws of Motorsports, round 1 of 2 here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, at the Canada Life Center. We're going to kick things off with the monster truck best trick competition, where the drivers are going to have 2 opportunities to lay down the best trick in their monster truck. We are so excited to welcome, for the first time in Winnipeg, this truck has never been seen before. It is Joe Brings in Elbows Up. All right, monster truck fans, we're going to continue on now with our next competitor in the monster truck best trick competition, and he's one to always keep your eye on when he hits the track, in the largest fire-breathing lava monster you will ever see in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a mechanic, he's a host, but this weekend he's a driver, driving the iconic Spitfire monster truck. It's Dallas Glenn Rogers. Our next competitor in this monster truck best trick competition, he is an absolute Canadian monster truck legend, a 5-time former Canadian monster truck champion of the world, and this weekend he's in Winnipeg for his 4th straight appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, get loud, because it's time for Marvin Anderson in Identity Theft. Next up in the best trick competition, from rookie to rising star in monster trucks, and he's here back again in Winnipeg with an all-new truck, debuting for the first time here in Winnipeg, never before seen in Manitoba. Ladies and gentlemen, get loud for Mr. Gavin Sell and Mixed Up. Coming towards the end of our competition, but we aren't done yet here in the Outlaw Motorsports Best Trick Competition. Up next, all the way from Weyburn, Saskatchewan, one of the all-time veterans in Canadian monster trucks. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get loud, because it's time for Jared Vogel and the newly branded Crude monster truck. Coming up next, we only have 2 trucks left in our Monster Truck Best Trick competition, and it's a teammate rivalry because coming up next, from Edson, Alberta, you just saw from Weyburn, Saskatchewan, the teammate truck to this truck that's coming up next. Of course, you got Jared Vogel in crude behavior. Well, now it is time to get loud for his teammate, Jason Court in Roughneck. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the pinnacle of the competition because this is our final competitor on the night, the former champion of the world, one of the greatest monster truck drivers of all time in history and all across the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get loud, stomp your feet, clap those hands because it is time for Bill Payne and Rockstar.
so extraordinary. So extraordinary. It's what he does. And we are glad that he chose this. Do you think he'll make it? Well, I'll let you recycle through the game all of this. He was little kids, trapped like their heroes did. Big off of a bicycle in the air. And other kids came out. You watch. See, kids always know what's cool. They know what's cool, they'll do what's cool. They will tell you what's cool. And they thought this was pretty cool. But some of those kids who got, oh, and Darren Wright giving you the clap. They're going to put his own backflip in there. Hands like that with his throat. Did he get that foot up there? Did he bring that foot up? That's all WTF. No, it's not what you're thinking. All wrapping there on holding ground. Triple the flip parade. Ladies and gentlemen, the only people who know how long any given truck has are the track officials. That clock will typically start when she hits that first obstacle. Comes around there on the edge of that aggressive bump. Bumper 2.0 running on 1.7 liter engine. Could have been the horsepower improvement. I think she built it that way intentionally. Coming out of those curves, you can see her working that rear steering. This double in the middle is working well for them. Get the final block in to grab some air. You notice that she's got the shot. So they take her into the front here right now. Oh, some big air right there. Those coilover style shots, like our right truck has. Using every inch of that coilover shot. And he hits those bumps with authority. Up through the middle here now. Look at these rockers. Like that, just falling right through like that. Look at you, he's got some respect in it. Oh, wait a minute now! Wait a minute now! Oh, what huge gear right there! From the Dakota Cooler sector. Taking on one of the giant obstacles here.
You have waited the entire video for this competition, and now it's here. The creme de la creme, the pinnacle of every monster truck event. The final competition here tonight for the Outlaws of Motorsports, round 1 of 2 in Winnipeg. It's here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Monster Truck Freestyle with Joe Briggs and Elbows Up. Coming up next in Monster Truck Freestyle, one of the fan favorite drivers in a fan favorite truck. He's a mechanic, he's a host, but like I said earlier, he's now driving the most iconic straight up racing monster truck that there is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dallas Glenn Rogers and Spitfire. It is now time to continue on with our Monster Truck Freestyle competition. And coming up next, 5-time former Canadian champion of the world. We love watching him drive this monster truck wherever he is, and we're so glad he's back for the 4th straight year here in Winnipeg. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the legendary Marvin Anderson in Identity Theft. We are moving through this freestyle competition very fast, but not so fast, because coming up next, I talked about him earlier, from rookie to rising star, from one identity to another, a brand new truck to Winnipeg. This is the first time the city and the province of Manitoba has ever seen this truck freestyle. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get loud, get excited, because it's time for Gavin Sell in Mixed Up. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just received word we are just going to have a 6-truck freestyle instead of 7. Unfortunately, Jared Vogel and Crude are not able to compete here in freestyle, but we're going to continue on with the former champion of the world, the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up, clap your hands, stomp those feet, because it's time for Bill, Payne, and Rockstar. Just like that, folks, we have reached the final monster truck in the freestyle competition, and there's no better way to end it than with a Canadian monster truck driver. One of the best Canadian monster truck drivers, I should say. One of my favorite drivers to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get loud, clap your hands, stomp your feet for Jason Court and Roughneck.